Hey y'all, this is Nikolai Odyssey. I'm here to talk about the next chapter that we're gonna talk about is called Deuteronomy. And the scripture word we'd like to talk about what it's about Deuteronomy on the whole chapter of the book is about monotheism. I'm gonna tell you something about what monotheism means. It gives you God's quality control and God's commands. It can be different, Like, well, here's an example I'm gonna tell you. If you guys got good examples to within or without the considerations, it can be dependent on the level of the people God's wisdom. But it's different because when people are asking about like the same direct people like over and over, it's nothing bad. But I want you to be success on this. That's why you need to being in a part of the level if you love God. But if you love God, there's something we need to talk about monotheism. You know, when monotheism works, they can get quality control. Like the feelings like happy, sad, mad, angry, anxious, and anxiety and the others. There's a lot of feelings they can give you what quality control can help you. Monotheism can help you. Monotheism are God's feelings. But there's a different way what God can control you. You want to make things right in your head. But that's what I'm talking about, because when people they're asking about the same shit over and over, there's no difference in that. You can talk about every plan you can do. You can do that in your real life. You can do that in sensual life. But there's no such thing as sexual eruption. Because remember, sex is just God's shit. They make babies. That's Genesis. But we're not talking about Genesis. We're talking about the Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy. That's the chapter that we need to explain this. We need to explain their feelings. If you watch the movie, the Disney movie called Inside Out, they might tell you what kind of God's feelings that you can get. Monotheism works with every smile, every happiness, every sadness, and all others. But that's different. But that's a different shit. But in that plan, you need to have the good examples to represent your own way. But if you're happy about that money, you can still stick with it. But it's hard to believe to think about money, because if people on Earth they're getting richer for everything, it can be different because everybody else has their jobs, and everybody else has a different opportunity. And look at LeBron James or Steph Curry or Kevin Durant. They're the richest players I ever seen, more than like the money that they earn more than Tiger Woods and the others. But think of all the top 10 people they have better feelings than that. That's how monotheism works. That's why you need to take the actions what you have in you can explain words that you can do. God's control is different, because if you want to make good feelings about it, there's the other way. What the chapter says. Remember, monotheism has a little bit different to use. Deuteronomy is more significance to every God's commands, but it's different because God's feelings is more punctuational. You want to be punctuational, like it did in the movie Aladdin. I watched the movie Aladdin before, but that was a really good movie, and it's a good video game too. I played that before. I passed it already. But if you see where the feelings they can got hurt and then somebody lie, you can't do this for lying. You want to tell the truth if it's nothing but above for the truth. But it's the best thing what God commands. You need to tell everything what God tell you. You need to explain the truth or explain the lies. You don't want to spread lies, Because if they spread lies, they're not going to be around with you no more. And they're not going to be reaching or what God will command you no more. That's why we maybe make sure we need to have to keep this house. Or keep the things right. And for feelings, for quality control for God. And that's it. Alright, so that's it for today. So hopefully this chapter will be different. So we'll see you in the next chapter. So this is Zika Lazarus. Keep it IC, keep it real.